You've heard it 1,000 times. Build an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses. But here's the problem. That advice was written for a 1990s nuclear family with a mortgage, 2 cars, and 1 breadwinner. You rent. You take the subway. You're single. Or freelance. Or both. So why are you saving 6 months of rent when your biggest risk is a $300 laptop crash? Let's get personal. Because your emergency fund shouldn't be based on a meme. It should be based on your risks, your safety nets, and your opportunity cost. Don't use your total spending. Use only what you must pay to survive. Rent, utilities, basic groceries, minimum debt payments, essential insurance. If that's $1,800, not $3,200, you've just cut your target in half. Ask, what could actually go wrong? If you don't own a car, eliminate $2,000 transmission repair. If you're healthy and under 35, major medical is unlikely. But if you're a freelancer, income loss is your #1 risk, not a broken fridge. According to the Federal Reserve, 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency. But the type of emergency varies wildly by age and lifestyle. Under 30, 68% of emergencies are job loss or gig income drop. 30 to 45, 52% are medical or car-related. Over 45, 41% are family care or home repairs. So if you're 25, renting, no car, your fund should cover 2 to 3 months of essentials, not 6. Do you have a credit card with 0% intro APR? Parents who'd lend you $2,000 interest-free? Access to a HELIC or personal line of credit? If yes, you can afford a smaller cash buffer because you have backup liquidity. Corporate employee with 3 years tenure? 2 months may suffice. Uber driver or freelance designer? Aim for 4 to 5 months. Why? Because it takes freelancers 3x longer to replace lost income. The bottom line? Your emergency fund isn't one size fits all. It's a personal risk hedge. And the smarter your hedge, the less cash you tie up. But how do you know what's likely to happen to you? In part 2, we'll break down real data on emergency types, probabilities, and the hidden risks most people ignore, like being asked to cover a friend's medical bill. Stay with me.
Let's cut through the fear-mongering surrounding financial planning, especially for young adults.
Not all emergencies are equally likely, and some of the scariest ones are statistically quite rare.
A 2024 Brookings study found job or income loss affects 58% of those under 35. Job loss averages 2.1 months for employees and 4.3 months for gig workers. Tech failure impacts 31% of young adults, costing $400 to $900. Dental or urgent medical issues affect 27%, costing $300 to $1,200 out of pocket. Travel emergencies occur for 19% of young adults, and 14% face social obligations, helping friends or family with emergencies. Now, let's consider rare but catastrophic events for those under 35. A cancer diagnosis has a 0.04% annual probability, per NIH data. Major car accidents are near 0% if you don't own a car, and home floods or fires are less than 1% if you rent. So why do we often oversave for the rare and undersave for the likely? Availability bias tricks us. We hear about cancer on TV, but not about a freelancer losing $2,000 when their platform froze their account. The hidden risks are soft emergencies, which don't make headlines but can significantly drain wallets. These include a roommate bailing on rent, a side hustle platform banning you, or a friend needing $500 for an ambulance copay. A 2023 MIT study found that 22% of Gen Z has lent money to someone in crisis, often without repayment. If you're the reliable friend, consider building a $500 social buffer into your emergency fund. To estimate your personal emergency cost, list your top 3 realistic risks, like job loss, a laptop death, or dental issues. Assign a probability using the data we discussed, and then assign a cost by getting real quotes, like for a MacBook repair. Multiply the probability by the cost to get a risk score for each item. For example, a 40% chance of job loss costing $3,600 gives a $1,440 risk score. A 25% chance of a laptop crash at $700 is $175, and a 20% chance of a dental emergency at $600 is $120.
This totals a risk-weighted need of approximately $1,735, which is your minimum emergency fund, not necessarily 6 months of rent.
But what about the money you're not earning while it sits in a 4% savings account? That's your opportunity cost. In part 2, we'll calculate this and show when it's smarter to take a small risk than to oversave. Don't let fear dictate your financial decisions. Use data to understand your risks and build an emergency fund that truly fits your needs. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every dollar in your emergency fund is a dollar not compounding in the market.
If you keep $10,000 in a 4.5% HYSA, you earn $450 per year.
If you invested it in a 7% S&P 500 portfolio, you'd earn $700 per year. That's a $250 opportunity cost just for being safe. But is that risk worth it? Let's get strategic. Tier 1, $500 to $1,000 in checking for instant access, like a laptop crash or dental emergency.
Tier 2, 1 to 2 months of essentials in a high-yield savings account for job loss.
Tier 3, backup liquidity, such as a 0% credit card, a family loan, or a brokerage margin. You don't need $10,000 in cash if you have a $5,000 0% APR credit card for 15 months. What's cheaper, keeping $5,000 idle at 4.5%, or borrowing at 0% for 12 months if needed?
Idle cash costs you nothing, but you lose $350 in potential market gains.
A 0% credit card means $0 interest if paid in 12 months, making borrowing smarter if you're disciplined. But what if you need money beyond 12 months? Personal loans average 10 to 28% APR.
That's expensive. So only risk it for low probability, high-cost events, like a $5,000 medical bill with a 2% chance.
Health. Max out your HSA if eligible for triple tax advantage plus investment options. Income. Diversify gigs so you don't rely on just one platform.
Tech. Buy AppleCare or laptop insurance for about $10 a month.
Social. Set boundaries like lending $200 instead of $1,000.
Every dollar you spend on prevention reduces your emergency fund need by $5.
Your emergency fund isn't static. It's a living risk dashboard.
Got a stable job? Reduce your fund from 4 to 2 months.
Bought a car? Add $2,000 for potential repairs. Moved in with a partner? Combine your financial buffers.
For renters with no car and good health, a smart minimum is $2,000 to $4,000.
Freelancers and gig workers should aim for $4,000 to $7,000. If you have dependents or a chronic illness, target 6 months of essential expenses. Perfection is the enemy of good. Having $1,500 is better than $0 while you save enough. Start small. Automate $50 a week. You'll get there. Because financial security isn't about hoarding cash. It's about managing risk intelligently so you can invest the rest with confidence. If this helped you build a smarter safety net, hit subscribe. We break down money with data, not dogma. Thanks for watching.